the life, because it's been so crazy with well, unfortunately, hope goes well. It's just this is the way I can basically work, and if anyone has a question as well, I might answer if I see it. I'll try to put my chat on the other display there to keep an eye. Unless no one pops in, so then uh, I'm gonna answer to the comments. Anyway, moving forward, where sorry, it's also like I said, first time doing a live, so yeah, don't blame me. We're working on the F16. Basically, we're working on all the panels are engraved and in place. Now we're working on electronics, basically a lot of wiring and stuff like that. And as well, I'm gonna show you in my humble shed. Apologies, it's a little bit messy, but it is what it is. I'm a messy worker, unfortunately. I'm gonna show you a little bit of. I'm trying to figure out basically. Oh, here it is. Where is my live feed? By any chance, I get any uh, comments where they pop on, and if I can reply to them, obviously checking them on this display instead of just going to the phone back and forth, because I'm basically using the phone. So, well, the internet here is terrible. Oh, there you go. This should be my live feed here. Okay, great. So, I apologize in advance. I have some bad habits, so if you see anything, just pretend you haven't seen anything. Uh, so I'm gonna start with the CMDS. The display, the LCD display, is already connected. It's basically 24 by 2 module I'm using for this, and it's a white one. So I'm gonna use this green acrylic cut. It's gonna go on top, and basically it's gonna illuminate the everything. It's gonna look the letters are gonna be green, and as well I like how it gives this greenish plain shiny effect. So obviously we're trying to replicate the original one as much as possible. Um, Switches. I ordered these switches from Chinese side, and to be fair, they're quite good. I really like they're very firm and really clicky. I mean, you can tell that they're not loose like the usual ones. I'll be honest, I've been buying from Amazon purely because it was really easy to order and get them really fast. But these ones, they're pretty well made, considering the fact they're very cheap. Um, Obviously, my budget is limited, so I mean I had to work accordingly. because the displays we put inside and all the other parts are quite expensive. But even so, I would say that basically very similar to the Trustmaster Warhawk ones. Anyway, um, so we have two-way switches, or most of them, and we have these uh, uh, multi-position switches as well. They're very nice and tucked up. The only problem with this one is I don't remember the wiring, so I'm just gonna use this to check the exactly which is the ground, and after that which is at every position of them, just to make sure I do it right. I have a bad habit. Every time I'm doing wiring, I'm just doing it from my head. I'm not using. I had people asking me if I have sketch. Unfortunately, I don't have any. I do it in straight, wire the things. I just plug them into the Arduino boards. After that, I go through the Arduino and just compile the whole thing straight from the batch without any sketch. I'm sorry, my technical. I'm not very technical with this. I'm very handy, but like it's very hard for me to explain most of the things. So just well. Anyway, let's see. So by default, it should be okay. So this is the first position, which will be off. Okay, second, and from here goes on 1/3. Yeah, and the fourth one. Cool. So with every board, this one it's a little bit different because it only has 2 layers. I usually do the first white acrylic engraved, spray painted back and engraved. And after that, I go with 2 layers of transparent acrylic. This one is different, and as well the landing gear panel is the same, where I used only one for the base clear acrylic. So basically, it's just a sandwich of two, but doesn't make any difference regarding the lighting, because I'm gonna use this tall standoff. So many people are using boards, individual LEDs to backlit every thing. For me, what it actually works pretty well, I use these standoffs. I come with another plate on top. I'm gonna do a mock-up one from Symphonics just to show you how I do. And after that, I get this green COB strip. So what I do, I go on the back plate, obviously facing down. I go back and forward, and I just do an array of strips just behind, where the light will shine from different positions and hit all the angles. And I'll be honest, I never had a problem. It shines pretty well. So anyway, I'm gonna show you later on. Cool. Wires. I mean, this before I would do, these individual wires. Before I would use these individual wires, and I would end up with a clutter of wires here that was so hard that you didn't even knew which wire goes where. So I decided to go with these strips because they're way more efficient. This way, I just count the numbers of wires I need, and I keep them as together as I can, so this way they look a little bit clean, and it's easier to trace one wire if you have an issue with one of the buttons or anything. So let's see, for example, here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, and should be a ground, so that would be 16. Let's see, we have a red one. The red one is way back there, so let's see if we have enough. Let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16 will be the front. Okay, just gonna do quite a long cable, so for let me check it here actually. For here I'm probably gonna use obviously that's separated, so the that panel is gonna be connected to the main instrument panel, right? To the upfront controller, and this side I'm probably gonna do one small Arduino there for the landing gear, the CMDS, and two more here, so they're gonna be like 3 on this side and probably 2 on that side. Actually 3 on that side, because unless I do a matrix for the caution panel, which is gonna be a little bit tricky, but unless I do a matrix for the caution panel, then that's gonna be probably one Arduino just for the caution panel if I decide to use it to connect it individually. So yeah, there'll be 3 and 3 on each side. So Unos, we're gonna use Megas, so that's gonna be yeah, that's gonna be a lot of wiring to do. Okay, should use a better tool for this. So what I think I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna run the ground through all of them, and after that I'm just gonna go individually and just take out the single ones. The funny thing with this is I ordered 3 and 2 pins, so you know how these ones with the 2 pins, basically the orientation, it's important. You have this notch underneath, so if by any chance you put it upside down, it's gonna be on, and on is gonna be off, and that's gonna be a little bit more difficult if you just don't take that in consideration. But with these ones, they have 3 basically they have 3 wires, and the center is ground, so usually it goes in opposite way, so doesn't matter how you put it, because you're just gonna you can wire it one way or another. So these are good for those kind of things where they have a positive on and always on, always off, where you have to basically give signal for on and off. But we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna use one of them and just run the ground through it. And for that we're gonna need some of this. Am I tricky? Why wait? Oh my god, why is this so stressful? We're gonna turn this on as well because we're gonna need it soon. Oh, let me get the smaller screwdriver. Well, I said smaller and it's not that small. And this happens when you don't have the proper tools. I bet one of those Linus's screwdrivers would be great now. So basically what I'm doing now, I'm just running grounds. And I know there are 10 ways, 100 better ways to do this, but you know how they say the best way is the best way is the way you know. Well, at least the easiest way.
Wow, it's already 10 o'clock. It's gonna be a night, a pretty long night. Okay, I'm gonna change to thicker wire copper because this is painful to watch, probably. Okay. Okay, that should be enough now. I hope. I hate this. I mean, obviously they're very for some of the people. It's just I hate them. I rather have the ones that you just solder them. Unfortunately, these ones they are so. um, it's probably my soldering skills or my solder iron as well. But every time I'm trying to solder, it just takes too much heat away. That is very difficult, and the metal they're made from, well, obviously they're made to be screwed, not soldered. So that's taking. So obviously at the end when I'm done with this, I'm just gonna use my solder and just do every strand and just make sure everything is well isolated from the rest of the buttons. We don't want any weird presses because of the any weird contact. No sé, estoy un poco loco haciendo este live session porque no trabaja, no, que mi modo de trabajar no es tan limpio y tal, pero bueno, es que, oh, sorry about that, guys. I just realized I went to read a WhatsApp message and that paused the whole live, so apologies for that. Yeah. Thanks to Sir Clemente, because of him I can see that the chat it's actually working, because I wasn't that sure about that. Oops, much pressure. I cut the thing straight off. So basically what I'm gonna do now, I'm just gonna wire it with a little bit of sense. So I'm gonna start from one side and just work my way in a probably C shape. So I'm gonna know just which one is the first cable to which button, and then every other will follow. So this way I can keep track without labeling everything. It's not much now. I'm probably gonna start labeling the ones that they're the bigger panels. But here we only have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 buttons and 2 multi positions. So it shouldn't be that crazy. I really need to change that because that's just disgusting. It's not the one it should be, and it's that's very cheap as well, my soldering iron, and probably wrong temperature. But yeah, anyway, just using some solder and flux on the wires, so this way it's gonna be easier to just screw them, well, model them around the screw. And probably people are gonna laugh about, there's so many better ways to do these things, but just keep in mind, I never done, I still taught myself all this. I just basically watched either someone I knew or basically just watching YouTube, and I learned how to do all this stuff. I haven't had the actual training in how to do soldering or wiring or whatever. So, you should see me coding. That would be fun and, well, embarrassing. Anyway, the point is, yeah, the point is, it's not great. There are probably 10 better ways to do things, but for those that have no clue how to make anything, well, look, I had no clue, and I'm still doing it, so that shouldn't keep you um, away from building something, or whatever. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I don't even play DCS that much lately, but I do enjoy building these cockpits. So I think for me it's more the building part rather than the um, you know rather than the playing part. I have to kit as well, so time is not on my side. But even so, I'm easily getting bored when I play. So yeah, don't judge me. So let me see position. That should be on up. So button perfect. I'm gonna put them all on just to make sure. So should be just checking for continuity. I'm gonna check the other ones just to the ones they have free, because sometimes it did happen when one of the switch was just from the factory. It had a short inside, so it was giving me positive in any position. Cool. I should really put some hot glue on these connections, because every time, I mean, they're so easy to. Oh, whatever. Yeah, they're so easy to. Obviously, before assembling the final assembly, obviously everything is gonna be hot glued just to make sure it doesn't move around and just gets um, moved from its place. But even for now, like I really have to do those kind of things, because I'm gonna put the plate on top. That's gonna be really hard to plug them back in. Okay, so we're gonna start from the right one. We're gonna start with this and just make our way to the end. I really need to use. I really need some glasses actually. I'm I'm blind like a bat. At least at nighttime. I think my sight gets really tired. My eyes get tired. Oh, hello for watching. That's good. When I started this, I didn't know if I'm gonna have at least one, but well, I'm not for sure. One of them is my nephew, probably. These are simple connections, like you're gonna get across things like, for example, that caution panel. I haven't managed to do a matrix an LED matrix that would work with the DCS wires. So, to be honest, I haven't tried enough either. But my point is, sometimes I just rather go the easy way and just connect the wires one by one. But that would mean you would end up with probably like 30 something wires. So yeah, I mean, you can put all the grounds together and just go positives to the Arduino, but I mean, still it's a ton of wire. last one. So this should be the last one, and after that I just need to do the two multi-position switches. Yeah, the switches, they move a lot now because they're not perfectly screwed there, so I'm gonna take the mid plate in a second and just make sure everything is screwed properly before the final assembly. Uh, that would be one there. Let me hot glue the oh, it's so funny. The hot glue was shining and I thought it's short between the cables, but actually it was a little bit of hot glue thing. Amazing. So okay, so now we have two multi positions, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 positions, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Let it up in here. I said we start, yeah, so that would be first position here. One, two, I'm gonna lift the top pins up because I'm not gonna use them and I want all those out of the way. I turn this off because I really need to change the tip, and oh, if I can see, if I can find a better one. I know I'm using cheap primitive tools, but I've seen people, to be honest, worse than I've seen people just building stuff out of nothing, old pipes, and they were doing things so cool that no one could imagine that was made from just a PVC pipe. You know, they would build. It's a guy on YouTube. He's building basically RC cars from PVC pipes. So yeah, all my respect to that guy, because that's very ingenious. And sometimes you just have to work with what you have on hand. Well, to be honest, I do have. Basically I bought the K40 and I transformed it in a bigger laser, like bigger. I just changed the bed size from the typical A4 that K40 can cut. I think now it's 600 by 400. So this is how I do all the panels and everything for this. So that's good for engraving the acrylic, because as you know, most of these new diode lasers, they unfortunately they don't They don't work very well with clear acrylic. Okay. Cool, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 4, 8 plus the ground. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the ground. I always leave an extra wire, like always, because honestly, you never know when you need an extra wire that runs from this board to the Arduino or whatever. So if I can, I just leave an extra one just in case. You don't know how you have to wire an extra button, or I don't know, or you have an issue with the wire and you absolutely can't find it. So this way you can reroute a new cable to that switch. Yeah, I don't know. Probably I had to learn from my mistakes before, so. Yeah, I really should buy one of those clamps for wires that holds the wires while you're soldering. And I should really get some glasses. Ooh, so windy here in UK, and being in the sheds doesn't help. I don't know if you guys can hear the wind, but it's pretty crazy. I guess we'll go to the second one. Yeah, by the way, don't do what I do. If you're doing any soldering, just use a fan. Don't. Inhaling this is no good. I know it's funny, it's coming from me that I'm just so close to it. But at the same time, I'm a heavy smoker, so it's already bad. This is gonna be ground, and that's gonna be just extra there. It's gonna be a challenge running this really thick cable to those tiny pins there. Let's see if we manage to do it or not. Huh. Well done. I glued the wire. Okay, so the remaining thing is to connect the grounds to one of the grounds from the connection there. So I'm just gonna go straight to this one here. Okay, so on this side we know this one is first one is extra, so I'm just gonna put it on the side, just cut it slightly shorter just to get it out of the way. And I know the next one is ground, so what I do usually with grounds I just do it. I know it's not very good idea, but this way I always keep in mind that that's the ground. Everything else they're gonna be my positives. I'm just gonna try and strip all of them together so I can do a quick continuity test to see if my buttons work. Okay, so they're all on. Come on, beep. Oh, here you go. Okay, let's try that again. So all of them, obviously, apart from the the rotary. So let me separate them by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now there should be 4 and 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh, my favorite plane. Oh, sorry, man. I just saw your message now. Where do you find all components for the gauges? Gauges. For my gauges, for if you mean these gauges, basically this is obviously 3D printed case, acrylic back panel, transparent on top just to give it a bit more thing, and I use servos. Yeah, and I use a servo in the back. Obviously, inside I do. I just put some of the COB light strip just to give it the white. I usually make the gauges white and everything else green. So yeah, if you mean those gauges, if you mean the other ones, basically those are on displays using Helios as a program in this situation, because we're running DCS. For Microsoft Flight Simulator you have MobiFlight, for example. Wow, this must be boring to watch, how someone does wiring to a cockpit. I mean, it's fun to watch and laugh for like 2 minutes, but that's about it. I mean, believe me, I get bored doing wires. Especially now, because now is the fun part. The fun part would be to connect all these bunch of wires to a DuPont connector. So let's see, we said we have 15, 16 ones, right? So we have one. Actually, I'm just gonna solder them and break it after. This way I don't have to worry about anything. Turn back on. Let's use the light. I think I'm okay without the light so far. Probably later I'm gonna get more tired, so I'm gonna use it more. Anyway, meanwhile that I'm just gonna take off another panel. Okay, we have this one next. This one is easier. We only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 buttons, and for this one I'm just gonna pre-wire it, but I'm not gonna do it yet. I'm not gonna connect it to Arduino yet, because that's gonna be connected to the back of the main instrument panel.
pretty sure I had a.
Yeah, I do. There you go. Much better. So when I started doing a little bit of soldering and stuff like that, it took me so much to realize why I couldn't actually do anything, because I wasn't using flux, and I think that's crucial for things like this, especially with things like this in particular, where you just need to be quick because you don't want to overheat the plastic thing, otherwise everything is just gonna become very um, loose. That should be enough. Oh. Favorite plane? What's my favorite plane? Well, it depends. We're talking about in general. I mean, if we're talking commercial planes, I would go with the Airbus A320 because that's the one I know more or less most of the systems, and I know how much how smart are in general with that autopilot being able to land by itself and all this stuff, like I don't know, like some time ago no one would have imagined that that would be a possibility. Well, they would have probably. Uh, yeah, if we're talking about DCS, I don't know, I tried all of them. Everyone is with F-18 and understand obviously Top Gun and everything. I only tried the main American ones like A-10. A-10 is cool, like with the bird and everything, but it's just too slow. It's very slow. I love the F-16 because it has that, like I don't know, it's that agility. How you can just pull and go vertical like nothing else. Um, Actually, I'm a big fan of the I think it's Swedish, the Gripen. I think that it's an amazing jet. Such a shame we don't actually have. I think it's someone that done for DCS. They've done a mod, but for me it just doesn't work very well because I have not amazing. My PC is pretty slow, so I assume that's one of the reasons I'm having problem with that. But yeah, otherwise. Well, probably for people are coming in and going out, probably saying, "Wow, this is the most boring live I ever seen." And well, I don't blame them. Yeah, let me finish this wiring and after that we're gonna move to more interesting things. Yeah, like running it with Arduino and coding all this buttons. It's gonna be fun. Yeah, I was just thinking right now about the multimeter. Look, I'm not, obviously I'm not any electrical engineers and anything like that. And they're probably watching me and laughing their asses. But even with this multimeter, like apart, I use it mainly for two main things. One, checking voltage or polarities to know which one's plus, which one's minus. When I can't trace a cable or wire or anything. And second, and the most important, is that continuity thing. That's mainly what I'm using it for. And it's funny because okay, this is not funny. I just put the wires. I haven't put them in order, so that's gonna mess up my feng shui here. Uh, yeah, the continuity, because so many times I had to check wires and things that were not working properly, and probably a short between two wires or stuff like that. And I know for just basic continuity you can use LED with power source and to see if it lights up or not, but for things like, well, I guess you can use that for anything including shorts, because if you had the short on two wires, the light will uh, light up, so that will give you the, wow, I really need some glasses, especially for things like this. Come on, two more wires. Oh, I hate this. That's the thing. I love building the actual structure part of the cockpit and doing the, painting and all this stuff. But when it comes to wires, I just dread it so much. So I'm quickly, before adding any hot glue on the connections, I'm just gonna quickly check to see if I have any short in between. Oh, sorry, any shorts between these. So just I'm running the one next to each other one by one, but like, wait here. Apparently, we already have a short here. So. Oh, of course. Wait. Of course, they're all on. Sorry about that. Okay. Yeah, they were all on, and of course they were all shorting. this one probably is one of the styles here. Yeah, cool. Seems alright. So just gonna add some hot glue there, some hot glue on the other side, and see. Loving the Viper. I'm gonna okay, so basically 3mm acrylic. I'm using 3mm acrylic for the white one, and in this particular, because I was lazy, I just used 5mm acrylic, uh, and I used the laser to basically do the pre-hole for where the nut goes on the actual thing, but I believe I didn't have at that point 3mm acrylic, so that's why I've done that. So usually I go 3mm acrylic on the top and 2 layers of 3 on the bottom. Okay. So this should be all set. I'm just gonna cut it loose. Maybe use proper pliers. There we go. Just let it dry for a second. Oh yeah, Arduinos. I'm using these ones. I'm pretty happy with them. They're from Key Studio. By the way, no one gives me any money for anything. So yeah, they're not. This is not a publicity spot or anything. I'm just these ones I have right now, and I have some typical Unos as well. But obviously I'm gonna use the Mega because wires, a lot of them. So, and I usually go the bottom 2 rows, the ones from 20 to 50, 63. And I use all those for buttons in general, and I leave everything on the sides for example, landing gear panel, like 3 LED lights, and if I have any. I usually don't use potentiometers and stuff like that. I would rather use rotary encoders rather than potentiometers, because it's just easy. I don't have to deal with any resistors or anything. uh, I just buy these ones, and they work perfectly every time. Plus, you have an extra push button here that's very useful for different situation. Uh, LEDs as well. I'm always using the ones that are pre-wired, the ones that come already with the resistor, so I don't have to do any of that soldering. Basically, I'm trying to make my life when it comes to this a little bit easier. Looks awesome. Thanks, man. Yeah, it would look a lot better, but probably not building it in the shed, and having better tools as well. I would love to have I love to have a CNC. I was even thinking at some point to just build my own CNC. I do have a hand rotor that I use, but yeah, that would make my life a lot easier. I mean, I've seen so many CNC machined cockpits. They look amazing. Broduck, why am I working? Hi buddy. I'm working on a F16, and I'm working on the CMDS panel. We just started with wiring, which I hate, but it needs to be done. Yeah. Yeah, it's the Viper countermeasure panel. I was saying how I went a little bit atypical with this one because I went with um, one of these 24 by 2 character LED displays, and I went with the one that I just love the one that's white on black, and in this situation I just laser cut a piece of green acrylic that goes on top and gives that green shine. But it's just that they're so easy to work with. I'm not great with coding, so this one's by default they're easy to code and everything. So probably this is the reason I go this route every time, because they just work. Cool. We have these. Let's check to see if we've done any mistakes. Probably, but now it's time. Now is the time to fix it, if that's the case. So let's see. So I started from, yeah, that's one. Yeah. Mm. Like this. Oh, I think I ran out of battery. Yeah, of course. Just realized I've done a big mistake here. That's supposed to go to center ground, not. I really need to tighten up that screw because it's just moving like crazy. I want to build a sim cockpit my products. I want to build a sim cockpit myself, but this is the stuff that makes me realize I can't. I suppose I would love to get into building as much as I have. Well, Um, Product. It's, believe me. Like I said before, I have even now. But I have no experience. I'm just, um, I learned doing it, and just if I got stuck with something these days, I just Googled it. How can I do that? Or any tips or tricks and stuff like that. But it's not that. Look, it's not that hard. It's basic stuff. Yeah, this is very tedious, like this wiring, and this is the hard part. Coding. I don't actually do coding. What I do is just find something similar to what I need, and I reverse engineer it. Basically, I'm changing the values till I get what I need. But I wouldn't be able to do a code from scratch because I'm just bad at it. Like these things, they're just you learn. It's not nothing. Nothing is hard. Even uh, just you get stuck. There's so many ways these days to find some help, and if you go to there are so many of the build cockpit build groups on Facebook or Reddit or DCS in particular, and they help you a lot if you get stuck. So yeah, I mean, if you have, obviously you need a shed, uh, a 3D printer, which I think these days a lot of people, they have 3D printers in their home. The annoying part is with the laser, obviously, to do all the engraving and stuff. But if even if you don't have a laser, I guess you could. There are people that are selling the panels already made, just the front panel. But if you really want, you can get one of those diode lasers at least. That's the funny thing with the diode lasers, because I know that they don't cut transparent acrylic very well. So you could probably engrave these, no problem. I don't know if you would be able to cut the back one, which kind of has to be white, depending with what type of back lighting you're going through. But I guess you could go with, I don't know, darker, like a plain white one, and just pre-hole and just use individual green lights for the backlighting. Or you don't do any backlighting at all, and you just use a white panel spray painted black, and use I've seen even for like 150 pounds laser, diode laser, and you engrave it. That should work, I guess. Yeah, uh, yeah, it's very similar to the old printer cable. I found this on eBay. I usually find the one that's like multicolored. It has like it's like a ribbon like this. I don't know if you have. And it has like tons of color, but I don't like that because it's very thin. It's very cheap. Where this one, it's just way better to work with. It's a little bit thicker. The things separate clearly when you need to spread the wires apart. So that's why I'm using this old printer cable. Yeah, I get this. You can find them on eBay. Pretty okay. Oh, yeah, believe me, I'm broke as well. So, well, I mean, don't look, the first, I mean, basically what I'm doing a cockpit because I like to build it, and when I'm done, usually even this one in particular, I'm selling. I'm just selling it, to for the basic price I pay for the material and a little bit extra. believe me, just slightly extra for basically probably like 1% of my time, and that's the money I buy the next material to build a new one. So basically, this is a, a first, investment I've done in the beginning, and now it's a rolling project where one build pays for the next one, and that's it. You know, this is not. It's a hobby that, well, kind of pays for itself, but at the end of the day, um, I'm only enjoying these things while I'm building them, while I'm testing them, but I don't play that much anymore because time it's an issue. So price wise, look, I've done the first F16 cockpit that's on my channel. I've done that one for probably like, I don't know, 400 pounds. I used materials I had laying around and stuff like that. So it was just the Arduinos and some of the buttons. I used the monitor I had laying around for the main instrument panel with the Helios, with the Captain Zen. If you're anyway, um, people would know who Captain Zen is for in relation to Helios, but. Uh, yeah, I mean, I've done it with under 500 to 400 pounds, where if you just buy a HOTAS from Trustmaster, that's already like 350. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Cool. So, this one is set to go. Just gonna pre-connect, and we're gonna do the Arduino coding after. So we're gonna do the first wire. It's like that. Okay, so that's first one, first from the right. It's gonna be 22. And yeah, because when you're doing the soldering, if you keep too much in one place on these cables, this white bit gets a little bit too hot, and then obviously they start to move, so it's gonna be harder for you to plug them in. But yeah, cool. This guy is next. And as well, let me take the I'm gonna take this off for now, and I'm just gonna oh, I'm pretty sure I had a brush around here. It's a bit dusty. Shaolin Funk says, well, I'm off to bed. Nice to catch up with the stream, mate. Have a great stream. And thanks, buddy. Thank you so much. I'm happy that at least a couple of people are watching. Uh, well, to be honest, it's quite late. I don't know where you're from, but in UK it's oof, half half an hour till midnight. So probably I'll just shut it off and head to bed soon enough. So yeah, thanks for watching. Yeah, to be fair, yeah, product. I know what you're saying with the modular panels. I would obviously I'm in a situation where I can't afford to buy modular panels like for wing and do that, but yeah, I guess I would buy modular panels and build myself an FA Hornet because they do a great job and well, not that expensive comparing to other players on the market. Um, the only downside is, well, to be honest, right now, what I would do for this years in particular, I would probably build the cockpit, but no LEDs, no screens, nothing, just panels and buttons, and that's about it. And instead of using Arduino, I would go with like those Leo Bodner's cars that basically make your switch. It's like a gamepad. It's you just plug and play, plug it in. Your computer is gonna be recognized on your USB, and after that, you just obviously in the game you have to assign every button. But I would do that for VR. Obviously, it needs to be a one-to-one scale to be usable in VR. But I realize it's pretty easy to when you have a big cockpit like this one and it's one-to-one scale, then it's very easy to reach for a button and the button to be there. Even some of the people they say it's weird. I played it and it was pretty nice because you have the VR, which obviously is way better than even a projector screen because you're very immersed there. But in the same time, the fact that you reach for a button and you actually physically touch the button and you turn that thing on or off, I think that's more the tactile part is satisfying as well, very immersive. So yeah, so I'm gonna use this for the landing gear. I know usually it should be a proper landing gear, but like if Wing does it like this and Trustmaster lately with the F16 throttle, I'm just gonna do it like this because too complicated means it might fail easily. So this way it's just a switch. I'm just gonna put the obviously landing gear lever. I'm gonna connect it to this and I'm just gonna run a wire for the red light. But yeah, and I'm using one of these LEDs kind of switch because it doesn't go left and right, so it eliminates the roll on the joystick when on the joystick, sorry, on the lever, you know what I mean. So I just 3D print a lever that fits perfectly on this, and it's not gonna do that. It's just gonna go up and down as it should. So that's gonna be okay. Okay, what do we have? We have 1, 2, 3 buttons. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the 3 LEDs from the landing gear. Also, not much on this one. I think I'm gonna carry on with this off camera. And yeah, immersion is key. Yeah, indeed. I have many videos with well, I have those previous videos of my builds where I'm just showing the cockpit a little bit, and I'm now wearing the VR because obviously it's mainly testing and stuff like that, and a lot of people they just they were so angry with me because I'm not using VR because VR is best. Well, yeah, it is, but it's great, but many times I'm saying that is great in conjunction with some physical touch as well. That makes a lot of. Imagine having VR, driving uh, a sim racer, racing game, but your steering wheel doesn't have any force feedback. That's, it's gonna be immersive from a visual point of view, but it's gonna be really rubbish because you obviously can't feel the steering wheel, you can't feel anything. So with this, I believe it's something similar. When you have the VR on and you can actually go towards the buttons and stuff. Well, and as well, even better, it's apparently now with uh, the Quest 3. I don't own a Quest 3 or stuff like that, unfortunately. But apparently with the Quest 3, you can use it and do like more like a mix where you can just uh, take your cockpit in the game. Surely you've guys seen it, and I think that's the future of VR, where you can use your own buttons, you can see your own cockpit inside your home, but when you look outside the cockpit, it's basically it's ECS. Oh, with this I was saying that I haven't 3D printed yet, but I'm gonna print a lever that goes on top of the switch, just to give it the realistic feel. And as well, it has that clear part on top that flashes red when you put your gear down or up, so when it's in movement. So I'm still gonna put that lever on top of the switch, and it's gonna illuminate red while the wheels are in transit. But that's what I was saying. I use as a base the switch, and the lever is gonna go on the switch rather than doing the whole lever from scratch. How I've done it some other times, but the problem with that is obviously it's a prototype type of lever with where you use some springs and stuff. So any moment if that spring basically jumps or whatever, it becomes unusable because it's not. I think this is just safer, harder to break because it's a classic switch already made by a factory, not something made by me from scratch. So to the mix, yeah. To be honest, I only seen a couple of videos. I haven't seen much, so I never tested myself, so I don't know how it is right now. But surely in time they're gonna, hopefully they're gonna make it better. So that's gonna be a little bit more, um, you know, uh, in par with the reality. Uh, Surely they're gonna improve the mixed reality thing and just do it properly. I've seen that, obviously. I've seen that Vario VR. They're already doing it, and those are pretty expensive headsets. So I assume the quality is a lot better than the Quest 3. And unfortunately, with the Quest 3, you can't basically just run. You can't run a outline of your cockpit. I've seen they just do some boxes, some type of boxes like that, because obviously they're using I think desktop something. But I've seen a live demo from Vario where they had basically the whole cockpit was perfectly um, uh, the whole contour of the cockpit was perfectly matching, and well, it was, I don't know, at least on the video looked pretty incredible. Cool. Anyway, uh I think that's about it for tonight. So let me put I think that's about it for tonight. I hope my 4, 5, 6 viewers enjoyed it. So nice chatting with you guys, by the way, and have a nice night, evening, wherever you are. How do I plan to do the throttle? So it's already in place. For the throttle, I'm using this new Thrustmaster. Is not fixed in place though. So this is the new Thrustmaster throttle, and basically you have that option that comes without anything. I don't know if you can see, but oh, actually I can take this panel off. Yeah, so basically it's just a plate here, so you have plenty of space to run your buttons and everything underneath. So this is very useful. I think you have obviously the real one sits slightly higher, but still I think you have plenty of space. You have like I don't know, a full like 10 15 10 12 centimeters under the throttle for all the buttons, so that's gonna work. I like this one comparing to the wing one because as well you have the extra. Yeah, so that's about it. Bye guys, thank you, have a lovely evening, and yeah, subscribe, and if you like this video, just hit me with a like.